Hi guys, and welcome back to the Fentech HTML class. So for this class, we're going to continue from where we stopped, and the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing what we call HTML links. Now HTML links are defined with the A element or the A tag. And example, we have this yep, A href equals to so the URL that we're going to use, let's use https um stroke let's use youtube.com. Yeah, and then let's add the closing tag. Yep, so as you can see, the closing already came out for us, but before that, let's add this is where our videos are posted. Okay, so after this, this link's destination is specified in a href attribute. So this is a link, that is this YouTube link, is always to be put in a href. So now this is called a href attribute. So people may be asking, what are attributes? Attributes are used to provide additional info about HTML elements. So after this, let's move over to HTML images. I know for the past videos that we've had problems with viewing our images, either because of network. Now another reason why your image may not show is if you copy the link from Google Direct, which was what we're doing, which is also something that is wrong because some websites do not allow copyrights except you download the image. So it's more preferable that you download the image and save it on your desktop and then copy the parts of the image than using a link from Google, because you might not know the websites, or yeah, we might not know the web that does not that allows copyright or does not allow copyright. So let's move into that. Against our img src, I've explained this src in our last video, so you can check them out. Okay, so now we're going to copy the link of our image. So already if I come out of here, I have my picture here and I named it Fortune. So all I have to do is come over here where I have Fortune. I come here, right click and copy path. Now I can insert that part here by doing Ctrl V. Yeah, now after the JPG, I'm going to add an alternative text, which will be which I'll have founder of Fentech, and the image is quite large. So I'm going to be adding width so that it will reduce. First of all, let's save and view so that you see what I mean by it's large. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to open with Google Chrome. Yeah, so while that is loading, let's come back to our code. So we can always add the width here. Yeah, okay, so as you can see, this is the image. The image is large, so I want to reduce it. So what I'm going to do now is just going to add width. Sorry, I forgot to close this. Yeah, we're going to have width equals to 104, and let's say height equals to 142, and a closing tab, not really a closing tab, but like to close this. Remember I said an img does not have a closing tag like this, it only ends like this. So let's save, Control S, and then we can reload. As you can see, this is where it has come up here. It's now smaller. So during our various videos, I'll show you guys how to arrange it well, but for now I'm just showing you guys like the basics, everything step by step. When we are going to create a full web page, I'm going to show you guys how to put it down here. So now if I click this link and it rotates, let's see what's gonna happen. But while that is loading, let's come over here. So I've done that. Now the next thing we're going to move over to is HTML elements. Now HTML elements, we know contents are called empty elements. We have the BR element tag, which defines line break and is an empty element without a closing tag. So for example, we're going to add a BR element here, here, BR, BR, yep. Then let's save. Okay, so it's taking us down to youtube.com. Yeah, so let's go back to what is HTML and let's reload. So if you click this link, it's going to take you to youtube.com. So let's reload for this thing. Okay, yeah, so what were we doing? We did a BR for the hypertext markup language. So if you come over here, so if you see, it's called a line break. So let's say you're writing a full sentence and you want the next one to go to the next line. So like if you check our code, it was HTML stands for hypertext markup language in one line, but since we put the BR element there, it broke the hypertext markup language down to the next page. So that's that for that. The next thing we're going to be looking at is Okay, before then, HTML is not case sensitive. I believe I've said this before. HTML tags are not case sensitive. That means you might decide to make this P element to be capital letter P or capital letter small. It still means the same thing. The HTML standard does not require lowercase tags, but Fentech will recommend lowercase in HTML and demands lowercase for stricter document types like XHTML. So you can browse about the XHTML. It's joined together. So next we're going to be looking at HTML attributes. Now all HTML elements can have attributes. Attributes provide additional info about elements. Attributes are always specified in the start tag. Attributes usually come in name, show value, pairs like name equals to in quotation value. Now there are two ways to specify the URL in an SRC attribute. So like I said, this is an SRC attribute. Now we have absolute URL and relative URL. So I'm just going to give you a brief summary of what absolute URL and relative URL is. So absolute URL links to an external image that is hosted on another website. That's, for example, what we're doing in like our last videos, using Notepad, going to Google to copy the link of the image, while relative URL links to an image that is hosted within the website. Here, the URL does not include the domain name. If the URL begins with a slash, it will be relative to the current page. So you guys can browse about that. They said if it begins with a slash, so I think I'm going to consider this as a relative URL. Yeah. So it is almost always best to use relative URLs. They will not break if you change the domain. So now let's move over to the language attributes. We've talked about that, like I said, a summary for those that want to use Visual Studio Code. So you should always include the language attributes inside the HTML tag to declare the language of the web page. This is meant to assist search engines and browsers. So where we have HTML, we can just lang eng, and that's that. Now, country codes can also be added to the language code in the language attributes. So the first two characters define the language of the HTML page, and the last two characters define the country. So for example, we want to add a country code, so we can change this, put US, that is the country code. That is in case you don't want to use English, because American English and British English are different in a way. So you might decide to use the US one, which is American, and you might decide to use the British one, which is United Kingdom. It depends on you. So now let's move over to the title attributes. The title attributes define, okay, which we've already talked about. We've talked about the title attributes. Now, okay, there's something someone asked me once. Note that double quotes around attribute values are the most common in HTML. I repeat, double quotes around attribute values are the most common in HTML, but single quotes can also be used. But HTML will recommend you use the double quotes just so that you don't have errors. So I think that will be all for this class, and see you guys in the next class. I don't want to make this video so bulky so you can have enough time to watch it. So I hope you enjoyed the class, and see you guys. Okay, bye.